This is a powerful and radically different approach to organisational change. One of the greatest failures in the management of organisations is that we fail to recognise the spirit of the organisation is a being in its own right. It's consciousness with its own desires, fears and agendas. Many change processes work with organisational culture, which you could say is akin to trying to change the artwork from the level of the artwork without speaking to the artist. This approach works with a completely different level of consciousness. It brings an entirely new way of operating with organisations. So if you're interested, you probably need a bit of courage, just because it will reveal things that have been hidden, the elephant in the room. If you're sick and tired of the bureaucracy in your organisation, the infighting, dysfunction, maybe the lack of heart, then it might be for you. If you are ready for real change, real integrated systemic change, and if you're high enough in the organisation to bring it to the whole group, you probably also need to believe there's more to life than what we see with the five senses. It uses meditation-based techniques to reveal the organisation's living form. It's about aligning with or remembering the joy, love and enthusiasm within the perfect essence or blueprint. And it brings a language and a technology to do this. So it's about actively and consciously communicating with the spirit of the group. It's bringing what has been an intuitive process and making it overt. When I've introduced the language and technology to organisations, there's an awakening for both the staff and for the spirit of the group at a kind of heart level. There's a natural cleaning up of dysfunction and a sense of alignment with the higher purpose. It reveals the inherent goodness at the essence of your organisation. In a workshop with an emergency service organisation, I remember one of the participants saying, all of a sudden, it was like, oh my God, that's who we are. They'd gained a kind of heart recognition of who the organisation was at its very core. The spirit of organisations lives in the tension between opposites. I was working in Ireland with an organisation that was focused on bringing peace and reconciliation in a landscape of vandalism and violence. It was the peace-war dialectic. During staff interviews, we repeatedly heard about behaviour that was reflecting the war, violence, vandalism, rebellion polarity. Their focus on peace meant they were ignoring the war polarity, and it was surfacing in inappropriate ways within the organisation. During the mapping process, we discovered a lex that held the principle that there can be peace, diversity and harmony, that there can be love and joy in the difference instead of war and violence. There were several processes, but at the conclusion of the research, the conflict resolution practitioners were asked to take the organisation through a conflict resolution process. And in so doing, they began to actively embrace the violent polarity rather than it operating unhinged in the background. That's the power of this work. When things are really seen, they have a natural tendency to return to their true nature, to return to a state of harmony where they are living in a harmonious flow with other life.